I've played Terraria for well over 3,000 hours, so I like to think I'm pretty good at the game. However, to test your knowledge and if you're good at the game, you can try medium core or hardcore mode. Hardcore mode means that if you die, you lose your character, basically the same as every other game. In this challenge, I'll be taking on hardcore mode on a normal world, classic mode, to see if I can beat the game without dying. This is my second attempt because my first attempt didn't end very well. I mean, just look at the screen right now. Yeah, I learned that grenade launchers actually do damage to you with the grenades. So yeah, I wasn't happy. Anyway, let's try again. So I decided to make this a class specific challenge just because it was normal mode to try and give myself a little bit extra difficulty. I decided to go and do a mage playthrough, so that meant no damage with any other weapon, at least until I found a mage weapon. However, this was very quickly resolved as 30 seconds in, my first chest yielded a Wand of Sparking. A Wand of Sparking is surprisingly good, especially in 1.4 because the damage is buffed, it takes very little mana, it's got decent crit strike chance, so you can actually get quite a lot of shots away. Anyway, I headed to the jungle because I would obviously need a full set of jungle armour. I laid a few chests and I got some feral claws, which are useless. So I got another chest which had feral claws. Not a third time. Oh my god. Finally, the next one, I got a fiberglass fishing pole, which was absolutely useless because I'm not gonna lie, it's normal mode, it's not that tricky. However, as I was going through the jungle, I found a big vein of diamonds. And normally I would make a diamond hook, but in this challenge I figured a diamond wand would be, diamond staff would be really useful early on because the Wand of Sparking, it's good, but it would probably not handle many boss fights. I tried to stay in the jungle for as long as I could, but eventually I needed to come home, clean my inventory, craft up a few things. I was able to craft some jungle armour straight away, which gave me some extra mana and some extra damage, reduced my mana cost, and also finally make that diamond staff. Once I realised I had enough bars and faffed about the menu. But later on in the jungle, I managed to finally complete and get my jungle shirt. So that was me, pretty happy for now. I just explored a bit more to try and get some more stingers for like hooks. I tried to get some life crystals because I really didn't have a lot of health. Yeah. Overall, the jungle trip wasn't too bad. I had a few close calls, just obviously because you're at such a low health. And on normal mode you tend to kind of go and just run head first into things. It's very different to how you'd play expert mode and master mode, I think, because there's no risk. Well, there's risk, but there's not like scary risk. There's not the instance of an enemy nearly instantly killing you. Anyway, after a fair bit of exploring, I decided to go and take on the Eater of Worlds because, let's be honest, I was overpowered, especially for classic mode. I got the magic band on my second shadow orb, which is quite surprising actually, because normally in these things you tend to just get the musket first, obviously, and then you just get like the stupid shadow orb or something. Anyway, summoned up the Eater of Worlds, and this is where I quickly realised that I don't have a piercing weapon, at least not a super long one. This diamond staff and the Wand of Sparking only pierce 2 or 3. So literally, for normal mode, this fight took way too long. Like, a good couple minutes, 2-3 minutes, which is a long time for normal mode. As you can see, it's sped up quite a bit on the screen, but it's an easy fight, especially on normal mode with a full set of jungle armour. The boss does hardly any damage to you. I'm over 200 health, and Diamond Staff does do quite a lot of damage actually, so at the very least it's not actually a tough fight. It got a bit dragged out, especially when the segments got smaller. You could only hit like once, so it was going so fast that you would just not get multiple shots away. But anyway, there was no challenge to this, okay? It was an easy fight. Straight away after that, I pretty much went to the dungeon and fought Skeletron. And this was much better because a Diamond Staff or Wand of Sparking was made for this fight. I actually found myself using the Wand of Sparking a bit just because it used such a less amount of mana. But Skeletron went down really fast. It was not a hard fight. I'm sure anyone will know that Skeletron on normal mode is actually probably one of the easiest bosses in the game. Well, they're all easy, let's not lie. And I've even got Chippy's couch, let's go. This was a sign that this run was on to good luck. In the dungeon, this dungeon was so big. I spent ages exploring this dungeon and I could not get a magic missile. I got a water bolt pretty quick on, which was good. I even got an Aqua Scepter pretty quick, but I mean an Aqua Scepter is a crap weapon. When do you use a fucking Aqua Scepter? My inventory filled up, which wasn't good. I'm very hoarder in Terraria, where I don't like to throw things away so I can sell it or store it in a chest for a class that I'm not using. But as I kept going, I just could not get to the end of the dungeon, and I started getting duplicates of like every item except for a magic missile. And I know the magic missile isn't good. Well, not as good, although I think it's pretty decent actually. But obviously it's used later on in hard mode to get the whatever weapon it's called. I forgot right now, and I'm not retaking this because I've been going for a minute and a half. But yeah, this exploring just took forever. And you can see me here just get to this point and be like, why is this dungeon so long? And I kept going and I kept going, and it was just so tedious. I got to this stage and I was like, it's still actually going on, there's more chests. I give up, I'm going home. So I lost the footage for it, but a goblin army showed up, and the goblin army was a stand still and shoot the water bolt event. It took 1 minute minimum or maximum. So I decided to go and quickly hunt for the Goblin Tinkerer to combine a bunch of accessories, which would basically put me in a go mode for hard mode. And the sped up footage for this length of time explains just how painful finding the Goblin Tinkerer was. I searched everywhere and he was nowhere to be found. I don't know if I was just getting unlucky, because I feel like I'd got kind of lucky up to this point. I even got Blizzard in a bottle, which was actually quite good because it means I could combine my Cloud and Horseshoe to a white horseshoe balloon instead of a red one, which just gives you better mobility. Even for the Spider Cave, I found so much, but not the Goblin Tinkerer, of course. He was nowhere to be found. But anyway, it took a lot of searching. It took a lot of tedious time. I was getting really frustrated actually at this point, because sometimes the Goblin Tinkerer, you can find it so quick, and sometimes you can find them in about half an hour. And I searched for well over half an hour. I even found a flippin' nymph before him. How do you find a nymph? And eventually, after searching for so long, I got bored and I ended up looking up the McDonald's menu. That burger looks good. What's under here? Oh, double McPlant. I wouldn't eat that. What's that? A chicken Big Mac? Ooh, now that actually genuinely looks tasty. I love this food. Wait, I'm supposed to be looking for a goblin. So after searching for absolutely ages and just going back and forth, we found him, finally. I was so angry, and I didn't want him to die and just move in the house, so I literally just boxed him up and I came back later. What a dick. So now was the time to go to the underworld, because I needed Hellstone. Not to make molten armor or anything, but I did need a little molten pickaxe. I also wanted to just scout out the area and make sure it was kind of accessible. I wasn't building a big platform, especially not for normal mode, Wall of Flesh. But I did go and loot some shadow chests to get Fire Flower, to get the Fire Rod magic missile thing, to basically just get myself completely ready. I managed to find a guided voodoo doll pretty quickly once I'd looted all the underworld, checked both sides when I was on the edge of the world. And I just decided to go to the end of the world and get a water walking potion. That would be fine. I tried to get a demon scythe from demons just for a wee bit, but it didn't work, which sucked, but it is what it is. Anyway, the end of the world, I made it with the lovely new hell biome, and I just decided to fight the Wall of Flesh? Wall of Guide? What the fuck is that thing? Oh my god. So yeah, I fought this abomination. Something truly hellish was in front of us, and it took all my might to try and look at it and bring it down. But let's not lie, it was easy. It took absolutely no time at all. Anyway, we were in hard mode, which meant grinding. Oh boy, if you know Terraria, you know you're grinding. And on my first one, my first enemy kill, I got a Hellfire. Was this assigned to go melee mode? Nah, it was assigned to go to the corruption and break some demon altars. And I love this because everyone's like, oh, don't break them too fast, you'll get loads of race spawning, and I think, nah, I just break them fast. Anyway, here is me screwing up. Once I got back from the corruption, I'd mined that much palladium that I could just craft a full set of armor and a pickaxe. So I went to sell my molten pickaxe. The molten pickaxe, so not the palladium one. So yeah, I had to go mine some more palladium with my molten pickaxe. At least I didn't sell the molten pickaxe and the palladium pickaxe. Otherwise I'd have to go and mine some blooming hellstone as well. And then the grind for adamantite started after I collected orichalcum, obviously. And this took no time at all. I managed to get quite a lot of altars destroyed, so there was plenty to go around and just get destroyed. It only took one spunker potion actually, so yeah, managed to get a full set of adamantite armor with very little time, to be honest, which made things just a little bit quicker in hard mode. So trying to get some wood just to build some arenas, some more houses, I realised that the hollow was actually really close to my base. And normally I would take the time and dig a little 5 block wide parameter around my base area, but instead I opted for this solution, which you will see very quickly just was not going to work.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Thankfully it was normal mode, so like I wasn't going to be actually playing for too long. After this I went to the Shimmer biome, to try and, well not try, but get the permanent upgrades for the mana, the mining, the life regen, etc. Because yeah, it's a takes small time to get a permanent upgrade. And as usual, my inventory is a nightmare full. Normally I'm not this bad, however in this whole playthrough I forgot to craft the void bag and void portal, so my inventory was just a mess. But I guess this was a quick playthrough, it really didn't take me a long time, which was fine. And after this I decided to take quite a long grind. I set up a bunch of sand down in the underground hollows so mummies would spawn. I created a bunch of different lava pits, and I just grinded to try and get an upgraded magic weapon, to grab some souls of light, to try and get angel wings, and just grab general materials so I could make boss summons, which was fine. I didn't grind for too long, maybe an hour, half an hour. It really did fly in though. I quite like this area I had. It didn't stop me from falling in the lava every 30 seconds, but yeah, we move. It was honestly a breeze. This is the difference between normal mode and expert mode and master mode though, is it's just you can stand here and kind of dance about with a flame lash, whereas in master mode, one hit from a slime and you're like, bye, I'm going home. You'd grind out like an Ankh shield, you'd grind out the best weapons and accessories with best reforges. In normal mode you just kind of take its time. Anyway, I got the Sky Fracture finally and decided to grab some wyverns for some souls of flight to make some angel wings, or grab harpy wings, you never know. So after enough grinding I went home, crafted my angel wings, happy days, and somehow the wyvern followed me from my sky island that was pretty far away and just scared the crap out of me. I don't know, who knows. So I took out my rage on Queen Slime, who was a joke. At this point I was ready to fight a mech boss, but I just decided to grind out King Slime because I was bored, and yeah, it was easy. I fought her like 10 times after this, which was fun. But after this I finally decided to fight some mech bosses. First up, I was going to do them all in 3 nights, all 3 mech bosses in one night. So I started off with the Destroyer just because I was like, he can take the longest, so he knows. And here's the problem. I made the exact same mistake with the Air Worlds. I forgot a tier somewhere. This fight took so long, Again, it literally took 5 minutes, and this is normal mode we are talking about here. You can see me just using my Sky Fracture to kill the probes, to kill the destroyer, and the health bar goes down so slow. Like yeah, it just took forever. It was easy, like nothing happened, like the destroyer hardly laid a hit on me, the probes always dropped hearts, and I finally done that. I crafted a watch after this to check what time it was, and it genuinely took 5 minutes. So I at least fought Skeleton Prime because I knew he wouldn't take as long, especially with the Sky Fracture, and to be honest, he was pretty easy as well. Sped up the fight again just in case you want to watch it, but it wasn't really, like, I didn't have to dodge much because he just didn't deal a lot of damage, at least not in comparison to expert mode and master mode. And also he spins his head really slow as well, so this fight was just a little bit of dancing about, to be honest. Dancing with Skeletron Prime. So yeah, the Sky Fracture is a really good weapon though for these as well. So yeah, it was definitely worth the grind for that. The Angel Wings were fine, the armor was fine. I didn't really have much accessories, but I did manage to get a cross necklace at least to make this just a little bit easier. So yeah, Skeletron Prime down. And the next night I fought the twins. And the twins are, personally, I find them the easiest out of the three. But I guess what's good about the mech bosses is that, like, they're so well balanced because it's always so subjective who finds what the easiest. Some people find like the twins easiest, some people find the destroyer easiest, but equally some people find the destroyers the hardest. What? Yeah, I had to take a break for some reason. I actually forgot where I went. I think I went to Tesco's to get some shopping. Woo! But then I came back and destroyed the twins. It was easy. Which meant it was time for the jungle part 2. I hadn't actually been in the jungle since the beginning of pre-hard mode. So now I got to finally craft the magic harp, which was pretty much my weapon for the next 2 boss fights. The next 3, sorry. I decided to fight Queen Bee because it was there. It's the only reason I can give. Queen Bee, it was really hard, to be honest, and I think I needed to move, and I needed to hold down the left click button, and I at least needed to jump as well at one point. So yeah, that was fun. Now, that tortoise came and hit me, and it done 116 damage. Oh, by the way, there's my Terra's ball, but that's no biggie. But in expert mode, or hard, in master mode, that had done 300 damage. And that basically would have just killed me in a 1 hour. Like, I'm just lucky this is normal mode, but yeah. I found Plantera's bulb pretty much straight away after Queen Bee, and I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to build an arena. The hollowed armor is basically the armor I'm going to use for the rest of the challenge because it's got the invincibility set bonus. I realise that's the best one, especially when paired with a cross necklace. You can avoid damage for so long. And I just I didn't even grab like mining potions, I didn't grab dynamite, I just found it straight away and thought, I'll just dig it out. It doesn't need to be a big arena. I sped it up a wee bit, I cut most of it out because it still took like a good 15 minutes to do. Don't think anyone wants to watch that for an extended period of time, but it really wasn't a nightmare to dig out. And as you can see, like, it's a fine arena. Like, to be honest, some people make an arena this big for expert mode or whatnot. Probably not master mode. Master mode's a bit too tough for that. I lit it up, just double checked I was happy with everything, and I was just like, yeah, cool. I didn't even go home, clean my inventory out, get potions. I just summoned Plantera, and yeah, I fought Plantera. In normal mode, she's pretty easy. For some reason, I brought a grab potion with me. I think I maybe found it in the chest, and I thought, yeah, let's fight Plantera upside down. I bet that's some sort of get fixed boy challenge or for the worthy thing. I've not played that fully yet. I gave up at the Medusa, which this is the training for that. So yeah, I actually found a mimic halfway through the fight, and I was more desperate about fighting the mimic in hope of getting a philosopher's stone or a star cloak, and I think I managed to get the star cloak. I sure did. I was happy with that. I obviously didn't class now. But now you get to listen to a masterpiece. I thought my heart would fit amazing with the classical music. Oh yes, let's kill Plantera. She's lovely, darling. Stunning. Gorgeous music. Yeah, that was Pantera. It actually wasn't tough. I lost a wee bit of health. I got the grenade launcher straight away, and I was just PTSD. I decided I was not going to use it. Instead, I went straight for the jungle temple. And the jungle temple, it's not tough if you've been through it a couple times. You just know, just check the ground for pressure plates, like 24/7. Grab all the chests you possibly can. Kill all the lizards in case you get some more power cells. And yeah, in normal mode as well, everything does such little damage and takes such little damage, it's fine. And I got a really big altar room, which sometimes I don't find great because a bunch of lizards spawn. So yeah, but I guess it's better than having a tiny one. Watch me get a tiny one in like a master mode version of this. But yeah, I decided to pretty much fight Golem the same way I did with Pantera. Clear out the room, make it pretty, and go for it. But since I didn't actually change any of my equipment before fighting Golem, this fight took a long time as well. Like, Golem definitely got quite a buff in defense, health, and his hands. When I first fought him in 1.4.5 or 1.4.4, I didn't think that like he got buffed with the hands. I was like, oh no, they just don't have knockback, like it's fine. But no, it's actually really annoying. Because they're definitely slower, but they don't obviously take the knockback. So it's frustrating. It's really frustrating, but it's Golem at the end of the day. Like, it's fine. Just don't be stupid and you'll be okay. So yeah, I couldn't actually tell whether the Sky Fracture or the Magical Heart was the best. It was kind of depended whether I could land my shots with the Magical Heart, I guess. But yeah, Golem went down. It started getting a touch. No, I didn't even heal. It was fine. Then I healed there and I was fine. And that was Golem. Easy. And I'd already grabbed like 6 altars at this point, so I basically just grinded them out. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. I got the laser rifle, the heat ray now, which made the fight a lot quicker. That's 4. That's 5. I got the stinger that time. How useless. That is 6. And that was good enough for me. I got the Staff of the Earth, which was pretty useful. And here's my update on the Crimson, which was the Hollow, which was useless. So yeah, my plan of slowing it down really just didn't work. Well, maybe it slowed it down enough. At this point I went and grinded the dungeon because I wanted Master Ninja gear, and I guess I wanted a magnet speed as well. There's not really a lot of weapons I cared for apart from that. I didn't really use the Shadow Beam Staff or the Spectre Staff, because the Heat Ray was actually pretty good. And the Celestial Staff, I got Mythic on my first Reforge, so that was more than useful. And once again, on normal mode, the dungeon just does not suck compared to like Master mode or Expert mode. But in Master mode, it's recall after one hit in a hardcore playthrough. If you reach it this far, if you reach that far, you're doing well. But yeah, after that, it was time to fight Duke Fishron. Duke Fishron is genuinely one of my favourite fights in the game. I think a lot of people say that, but at this point I had got Beetle Wings, I'd got Master Ninja gear. This fight was a breeze. Like, if you've just got decent movement, then it's absolutely fine. Normal, I don't know if I'd ever opt to do this before or after Empress of Light, because if you do it before Empress, then you've got really good wing speed. Maybe this is in like Expert mode plus, because obviously you need the Expert mode drop for it, but in this it was like, it's fine, I can just do it in normal mode. And I forgot he doesn't even have a third phase in normal mode. Like, he just died and I was like, oh, okay. The fight took a wee while with the Heat Ray. It wasn't too bad, but it's just the first type of fight with Duke Fishron. But after that, I got the bubble gun. I love the bubble gun, especially with Duke Fishron. It's a really good weapon with like kind of large enemies that kind of fly towards you. So the bubble gun absolutely melted this boy. Honestly, sharp bubbles. They do a lot of damage. You can see straight away that this is just doing like as much damage as it was like sped up 4 times. So yeah, I grinded out Duke Fishron a few times, and on the 4th or 3rd kill, I can't remember, I got Fishron wings. which was great. And at this point, I was ready to go. I was ready to just grab the fishbone wings. I even got Warden straight away, and I was like, "Sin." So I went to the dungeon and then to fight the lunatic cultist. I took down this little pillar because it was just getting the road. And at this point, like, it didn't matter about the weapons. I quickly hid under the dungeon just to make sure the Martian probe didn't see me, because the Martian madness is a bad. No, 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 no! Use the heat ray, heat ray. Uh-oh. This is not good. Yeah, the Martian madness sucks. I hate the Martian madness with a passion. I can do it, don't get me wrong. I can kill the flying saucers in whatever mode, like, it's fine. But all the other enemies just do so much damage, and obviously in this you don't have infinite flight, so you have to keep coming down and just getting hit by lasers. There's the debuff. This sucked, and as you can see, this is probably the closest call on the run. My health got really low, like down to maybe just on over 100. I'd healed. I was even using buff potions at this point. I managed to get some at the chest. I think I even used auto save. But yeah, eventually a saucer showed up, and I thought, let's just try and grind this out. I was able to heal at least here. But yeah, on the first one I got the laser cannon, and on the second one I actually got the cosmic car key, and this actually proved quite useful because it meant I could go and fly in the air and just hide, which meant the rest of the Martian madness was at the very least possible. So I managed to luckily beat the Martian madness. Now I went to the dungeon to fight the lunatic cultist, and he was easy. I mean, it was another case of just don't die, which is, I guess, the whole point of the challenge. But there was a lot of standing about, there was a lot of taking extra damage just to tank it a wee bit, because in normal mode you take such little damage. The bubble gun was better here, but also it was harder to hit him, so I used the heat ray for the majority of it, also to make sure I didn't spawn any like dragons. But yeah, he died quite fast, and that meant it was time for the pillars. And straight away I got worried because it was a solar pillar, but the pillars have been changed in 1.4.4 and they've all been balanced out a wee bit. And now, in my opinion, I find this one of the easier ones, because if you find a decent area, you can like take on a few enemies at once and just like be careful about it. Like right here, like they're all trapped in the dungeon, and they're all like in chasms and like holes or like blocked off by things. This has happened quite a few times where, like, if you just get a decent area, you can do this kind of slowly but quite safely now. Like, there's not a lot of risk as long as you're not stupid. Even though that guy just came and done 200 damage, which would have done like well over 400 in master mode. But like, there's a lot of standing still. There's a lot of just enemies get stuck. So as long as you're careful, if you're really struggling, you can quickly recall. And it's purely just to hit points. The laser machine gun was okay, but obviously them enemies with a spinner and can deflect things with their shield. But yeah, the solar pillar went down like a tree. Even when I went to go and defeat the actual pillar itself, the bubble gun just melted these things. So yeah, the joys. One pillar down basically, 3 to go. The next pillar was obviously going to be the Nebula pillar. I get magic weapon. This pillar sucks, okay? This pillar always sucks. For some reason it's not as tricky, I think. I don't think it's been changed much, if at all, but like, it's just a shit pillar. Like, them teleporting enemies, and then the other enemies seem to fire like items faster on the ground. That's what I think this change has been. You can see them firing really fast there. Like, I would have probably died in master mode. The projectiles, they just come out of nowhere. It's not a fun pillar. But the saucer mount actually became quite useful in this, in that it let me kind of infinitely fly, so I could get away from enemies on the ground. However, I did have to recall back to safety. And before I could heal the nurse, I realised the nurse was over there, so I had to quickly go back to the desert, heal the nurse, and yeah. But when the pillar went down, I just flew in the air so no enemy could spawn, and used my staff of air and my laser gun, and it just went by, which was good. It meant the kind of tougher pillar was down. kind of cheesy, I know, but in hardcore, you're gonna do something cheesy. As long as it's not healing with an Nurse during a fight, that's cheating, in my opinion. That's ultimate cheese. So yeah, I crafted the Nebula Blaze as my kind of main weapon, and I went to the Vortex Pillar. And this pillar has been buffed to fuck. Holy shit, this is hard. You know what? It's actually really exciting. It's so fast paced because you've got them little stormtroopers that just are rapid now. They lock on and shoot straight away, and it's tough. So you need to be rapid, along with the other enemies spawning, and they seem the same. That's not right. But like the stormtrooper guys going fast, like you're just going rapid the whole time. I think I found a tactic for them and got it a bit easier, but yeah, I couldn't even get close to the pillar itself without everyone spawning, and as you can see, I lost a lot of health all of a sudden. Went back, melted them quickly, and called the Vortex Pillar quits, which meant I only had one to go. The Bubble Pillar! Let's go! And this one has been buffed as well. A lot of the enemies move faster, shoot more projectiles. As you can see, like Bubble's just like boom, teleport. But yeah, it's still not too bad as long as you're not like neglecting it, but it's normal mode I kinda could. And before this I obviously made the preparations because it was going to be a one attempt at the Moonlord. No healing at the Nurse, no saving quitting. I made a decent length platform, put heart lanterns and campfires. I didn't even stay to collect the fragments. I just waited to fight Moonlord. I'll play the fight in full. I won't commentate over it, I'll just let you enjoy the fight. And just like that, we defeated the Moonlord. We had beaten normal mode on Terraria, hardcore. Not one death, beating every single boss needed, no cheesing at the Nurse. It was really easy, let's not lie. Thanks for watching.